Hey guys, it's a patient hodler coming at you with another video, and in this one we are going to talk a little bit analysis of the VEVE and the Ecomi market overall and just assess the situation where we are more or less, if the project is dead or if we are just in a correction or if it's a crash, if we should be worried or not. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor and not a financial advisor, so please do your own research before you ape into Ecomi, the VEVE collectibles, or sell them all off. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider dropping a like, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think where Ecomi and the VEVE collectibles are going in the next 1 to 5 years in the comments below. Also tap the bell to always get notified whenever I upload a video. And a special thanks to my 5 Patreons that are continuing to support me since several months. If you want to help more than only liking and subscribing, please consider subscribing to my Patreon or to this channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started. So, as you can see, I'm out here again in the fields for you, as you like the more nature sceneries very much, and I enjoy taking these videos out here for you. And I want to build or structure this video in the following sense. First of all, look at the general overarching situation regarding Ecomi and VEVE at the same time. So that is a more global situation. And then looking at Ecomi first, and then at VEVE, and then address a little bit the sentiment in the community and maybe say 1 or 2 words also that might piss off some of you. But this will be for last. But let's start with the overall situation. Now, where we find us is a situation in which there's a lot of uncertainty in all the investment spheres. Stock market, crypto market, whatever, real estate. Everyone that has some investments running is reconsidering if they should rebalance the portfolio, if they will continue to hold, if they will liquidate and buy something else, because the conditions have changed. And the main factors are the plague and the situation that is, for example, going on in China, then China, how they behave to Taiwan, Ukraine and Russia, and how Russia will proceed with the apparently war that is not going as planned for them. Then we have the rate hikes of the Fed, where Jerome Powell said that they don't know yet or haven't decided yet how many rate hikes we will see. Probably we will see 7 going or reaching up to 1.75 basis points over the whole year, but it could be more. They don't exclude that. So overall, we have the threat of a coming recession over our heads, and accordingly investors are not satisfied with the situation. In fact, they are scared, or they at least have uncertainty, and that is causing most investors to move to more stable and secure assets or investment classes, and selling off the riskier ones. What is a risky one? Bitcoin, in the eyes of most investors, already is a risky one. And we saw that Bitcoin corrected hard, is now forming something that looks like a bottom, and maybe we can see a reversal in that. But what's also a risky investment in the eyes of many investors is Ecomi, and it's way more risky than Bitcoin, that is already considered a risky investment. So therefore, you will see a harder sell-off. As we know, if Bitcoin bleeds, altcoins bleed harder. Now, if altcoins bleed and Bitcoin and Ethereum, small altcoins are bleeding way harder. And as Ecomi is below $1 billion market cap at the moment, I would consider Ecomi still a very small investment, let's say, or a very, very small token in the crypto space compared to what else is out there. Now, with that said, we also have something that we have to see for Ecomi and VEVE at the same time, despite all that situation, that both companies or both project parts are basically led by the same people, and these people have a big deficit, and that is a real criticism, because communication and transparency is something that they are working on and that they are trying to get better, but that they have failed several times to address certain things, and therefore have lost, let's say partially, the trust of many investors. Now this accounts for Ecomi as well as for VEVE. Now let's say we are starting here with Ecomi. Why has Ecomi especially gone down despite the facts that we have already mentioned? Now we are walking here with a little sunset in the background, and I hope the wind noise is not too bad, but let's continue with Ecomi. So first of all, the biggest problem at the moment is that many people feel that we have lost all utility, because the biggest project and driver of the utility was the VEVE app burning through the reserve wallet, and then via buybacks would have to replenish it. At least that's what many feel now. With the buybacks being paused and there is no timeline for ever rebuilding that mechanic, and without the OMI utility program there is almost no utility for the Ecomi token, and therefore the Ecomi token will not be attractive to other investors until that fact changes. Now we know that a lot of investors have big bags. There are people that hold 1 billion Ecomi, and they are probably pissed because they could have put their money onto a faster horse if they have invested in the last year, in 2021. So that means that those people could have invested in a project like Terra or Phantom, which is actually outperforming the rest of the market. And there are some other projects as well. So you could have invested in those projects and then invested back into Ecomi right now. Another factor is that we know that the Ecomi coin is highly dominated by whales and whale wallets, so people with billions and billions of Ecomi tokens. So I wouldn't even at this point discard that there could be something like a Wyckoff accumulation going on that is already stretching since more than 1 year now. And I will just display the current chart, how it looks, and the Wyckoff basic chart pattern here. We have discussed that in a live stream, and I will pick that topic up in the next live stream again when I get my PC fixed and get out the next live stream for you. But I think that could be a possibility, and these whales can manipulate the price and drive it and kick it into the floor exactly when we have FUD, we have negative sentiment, negative news, to scare out and create a shakeout of many investors that do not have their emotions under control, or that get so scared that they want to preserve some of the money that they have put in. I think that could be a relevant factor. Now let's go to the collectible side, because despite all of those facts, lack of transparency, lack of a vision where the whole project can go, and the whole crisis situation with the many uncertainty factors, there is something to the collectibles market that is even worse. So within the collectibles, I would say we have the perfect storm, and this could be the biggest sell-off in the VEVE history of all times, and we will think back to this point as the biggest sell-off ever. So first of all, we have the MTL being tested, like let's say since 1 year, but there is this video announced, this pre-recorded video, and maybe many people are estimating that this video will be an announcement for the MTL coming for everyone. So that would mean that the current sell-off would actually be the MTL cash out sell-off, and everyone who is leaving now with their bags have already sold off. So that is then probably as low as it gets. Now the next part that I want to address here is something that is really crazy to me, because the complaints that you can see beyond the reasonable ones that we have seen already, the lack of transparency of the team and so on, that you can really criticize, there is criticism that is as follows. Why are there so many Disney drops? Like, people actually, and you couldn't have thought of that even in October, people are actually complaining about too many Disney drops. There is a high number of drops, a high number of editions, and it will take a while for the market, especially in these conditions, to absorb this many collectibles. Yes, and there are many first appearances, but you have to be happy that you can actually spend 100 gems and get the golden moments first appearance of one of the bigger storylines out there in VEVE from this. Let's turn around here because the wind is really strong. So we have all these comments about too many VEVE drops, too many drops at all. But then again, a month ago there was the demand of having more editions because people were not getting anything on the drop. So I think with all of this, we could see, if we compare that to normal market cycles, we are not feeling euphoria, we are not feeling excitement, we are not feeling a little sentiment of despair. No, we are feeling real fear, and I think we are heading towards a moment of capitulation in the market, and that would bring us to a bottom within the VEVE collectibles and maybe also within the Ecomi token. In the Ecomi token, I would be a little bit more patient because it could be that whale manipulation will drive the price into 0.001 to the floor, so that you really have a new all-time low. And that could be the spring moment in a possible Wyckoff accumulation. I don't know if it will happen, but I can certainly imagine that this happens. And now back to the VEVE collectibles, you have all these claims like VEVE is dead. That looks like capitulation to me. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Now to my last point, and this is something that I don't know who needs to hear this, but some of you certainly need to hear this, and this is real criticism and constructive criticism versus criticizing everything and not being satisfied with when something comes out. And this is something that I observe within the VEVE community especially, but also within the Ecomi fam of the pure token holders, is you have to check your own expectations and your time horizons while you're in that project. And the reason being is that you have to see or ask yourself what the VEVE and Ecomi team can announce and bring that would turn you bullish again. Is that even reason? Is it even possible? Or are you basically already beyond saving? So that means if they would announce in that video MTL, would you react in like, good, I can feel bullish again because they are holding what they are saying, it just took a while? Or would you react with too little, too late, where is OMI utility program, where's MCP, and so on? And then if it is not MTL but OMI utility program, then you would say, yeah, okay, it's cool and so on that you bring OMI utility program, but where is MTL? So basically, I feel that there are some people that will only stop complaining if VEVE would bring OMI utility program, MCP, MTL, OMI to NFT, and the VEVEverse at the same time. That would make them happy, but nothing else. And that is where you have to check your own expectations, because this will never happen. And what is also true is that the VEVE team is delivering. I mean, it's not in the timeline, and yes, there is a lack of transparency, but on the other hand, we have since a couple of months Disney drops and a real commitment. It's not that Disney is running around and launching on other apps. They are launching all their stuff on the VEVE app, and still you find people that are suddenly complaining about this. What would happen with those people if Disney would not launch these collectibles all on the VEVE app in that time frame? Then they would ask, what has happened? Is Disney going to another project because we don't see drops anymore? So it seems like we're beyond a point where we cannot satisfy anymore a certain group of people. And the problem is that this group of people holds a bag of collectibles, holds a bag of OMI tokens, and is at a point where they are harming their own investment. And I don't know why this is, but it seems like a child, or it seems like a sentiment where you are at a point of frustration where you would rather break what you own than looking at it and see if there is something that could come out of that. So I hope you get what I mean, and I hope most of you will not feel that this is something that they are doing, because I think most of the investors are thinking on a reasonable point, but I think that is something that some people that are really loud on Twitter and on other social media are feeling and thinking. And I think that is something that needs to be checked, because if not, we will end up in 3 years fudding around, and we will get everything we have, but we will not be satisfied with anything of that. And I think that is something that is not good for your investment, for your well-being, for the community, for the VEVE team, for no one. Only constructive criticism, in my opinion. But with that said, I'm already at the end of the video. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And see you in the next video.